Hi everybody, just wanted to demonstrate some practice drills while we're all stuck at home and able to get to the studio. These are drills that I've found beneficial over the years, and hopefully you will too. Begin with standing forward bend, Uttanasana, which is something that we practice in class a lot. But I think it's really good just to go over the fundamentals of this sort of central posture. So, standing in Samastitihi, standing pose. So that's toes touching, big toes touching, slight gap between the heels, join the kneecaps up, shoulders down and relaxed. So we're going to begin by creating a length in the upper body. So we breathe in. Raise the arms, look to the thumbs, point the fingers purposefully up to the ceiling, and breathe out, bring the arms back down by the side, and we'll repeat. So breathe in, look to the thumbs, straighten the arms as much as you can, just tilt the head back, breathe out. Okay, so we're moving to a forward fold, remembering that we're bending from the hips. Engaging the lower abdomen, that's the bit between the navel and the top of the pubic bone. Trying to bring some activity to that area, draw that back towards the coccyx as we move into the forward fold. So breathe in, create length in the upper body, look to the thumbs, breathe out. Moving into the forward fold. So the bum goes back, sit bones. So when you're bending forward like this, is a good opportunity to identify where sit bones are. So if you just reach back, it's the most prominent bone structure you can feel in your sit bones. So they should be pointing up, moving apart slightly as you move into your forward fold. You're drawing energy into your centre. You're moving that area, the bit between the navel and the pubic bone, back towards the coccyx at this point. Drawing the kneecaps up slightly releases the hamstrings. Just envisaging trying to move the rib cage towards the thighs as you move into your forward fold. Then see where your hands are in relation to your feet. They could be here, on the shins, ankles, toes. Ideally, what we're looking to do is get the hands flat to the floor. So breathe in, lengthen the spine, expand the rib cage, and breathe out. Soften and deepen. So as you breathe in, which is the pranic phase of breathing, lengthen the spine, expand the ribs, and breathe out. Deep pranic phase of breathing, soften and deepen. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, lengthen, breathe out. Deepen, breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Next in breath, if you look up, bring your hands together, raise the hands, look to the thumbs, and back to Samastitihi. And repeat that again. So breathe in, creating length in the upper body, lengthening the spine, expanding the ribs, looking to the thumbs, breathe out, forward fold. Bend the knee slightly if you need to at this point. We're trying to get the rib cage to move towards the thighs. Hands to the floor. And if you've got your knees bent, on the next in-breath, as you lengthen the spine, expand the ribs, see if you can straighten the legs a little bit on the in-breath, and breathe out. Soften and deepen, breathe in. To lengthen, breathe out. To deepen, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
So we're not bobbing up and down here, we're just trying to allow the body to move with the rhythm of the breath, the pranic in-breath to lengthen, the apanic out-breath to soften and deepen. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Next in breath, just look up, soften the seat of the knee slightly if you need to, bring the hands together, breathing in and back to Samasthiti. Okay, so just take the feet out to about hip width, and again we're going to come into a forward fold. So breathe in and breathe out, forward fold. Soften the knees again if you need to a little bit, trying to get the rib cage to move towards the thighs. Bind first and second finger and thumb with the big toes. Breathe in, look up, lengthen the spine, try to straighten the legs as much as you can on the in-breath, and breathe out. Forward fold, ribs move down towards the thighs. It's going to take a couple of breaths in this position, so breathe in and breathe out, and as you do, let the heads come forward, look back between the knees, breathe in and breathe out, breathe in and breathe out, breathe in and breathe out. Next in breath, look up. Okay, so from here we're going to come down into a position called Malasana. So this is a flat-footed squat. So from this position, just allow the knees to bend, bum towards the floor. Try and keep your heels on the floor. If that's a challenge, get something, a rolled up blanket or a cushion or a block to place underneath your heels to keep your body weight forward. However, what we're trying to do is to get the feet flat on the floor, and again try to get the shoulders close to the knees, hands in prayer position. Try and keep the feet pointing forward as much as possible. Lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders back and away from the ears. Have some pressure on with the knees pushing against the back of the arm. And we breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. 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 So with Malasana, it's a posture that I'd encourage you to practice frequently, as often as you can, just while you're watching TV or texting or reading a book, or on any occasion that you need to pick something up off the floor. Don't bend over to do it, squat down to do it. This is a fantastic posture for strengthening your thigh muscles, lengthening the adductors, or these muscles here on the insides of the thighs, strengthening the ankles as well. It's really good for your lower back. If anybody's got any lower back pain, it's a really great posture. It's also a preparatory posture, I think, for some of the more challenging postures of primary series, Ashtanga primary series. So a really important posture to practice, a drill to practice. You can play around with this posture quite a lot. So when we're in this position, for instance, we can introduce a twist. So you just take the right hand, put it on your left ankle, try and keep that shoulder in contact with the knee, and then in breath, reach back with the left arm. And repeat that on the right hand side, so it's left hand on the right ankle, try and keep the left shoulder in contact with the left knee, and breathe in, twist, look back to the thumb if you can, quite a challenge for me anyway. Bring that arm back, so repeat that 2 or 3 times. The other thing we can do is to try and bring the body weight forward. So trying to bring the head forward and towards the floor in front of us. Again, while keeping the feet flat on the ground as much as possible. And hold for 2 or 3 breaths before coming back to this position. Okay, so this is also a great posture for practicing or moving into Bakasana. So that's the first hand balance that we learn in Ashtanga Yoga. So it's where or crow posture as it is often called. So again, just to demonstrate, this is a preparatory sequence to move towards Bakasana. So we've got the knee against the back of the arm, the back of the humerus. So putting the hands in prayer position really emphasises that. So begin to rock backwards and forwards a little bit to really get the feel, the pressure in the back of the arm. So you're squeezing the knees into the back of the arm. So you put your hands flat to the floor and just start to bring the body weight forward, up onto the toes, and then back down again. Body weight forward, up onto the toes, and back down again. And repeat that a few times. The other thing you can do, obviously we're rocking forwards, backwards and forwards, is to, for safety's sake, have a cushion or a rolled up blanket in front of your face. You don't want to do a nosedive. So again, we just rock backwards and forwards. And as you develop a bit more strength, a bit more confidence, a bit more balance as you come forward, you can begin to pick up one foot and the other foot, and back down again. And again, roll forward, pick up one foot, and then eventually you can pick up both feet, touch the toes together, and just hold. And then back down again. So, Malasana is a posture that you can introduce a lot of drills into to, like I say, lengthen and strengthen the adductors, but also enables you as a good starting position to move into Bakasana. So from here, we're just going to move to the floor. Just sit the legs out in front. So we've got toes pointing up, knees pointing up, shoulders back and away from the ears. Again, sit bones moving apart slightly, so you're well rooted. And from here we're going to move into Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. Again, the mechanics are exactly the same. We're moving from the hips initially, so we're trying to get the abdomen, trying to get the belly to move towards the thighs. We breathe in, lengthen the spine, expand the ribs, and breathe out, moving to the forward fold. So again, trying to get the rib cage to move towards the thighs. Then see where your hands are in relation to your feet. Could be on your shins, could be on your ankles, that's fine. Looking to a bind, however, with the toes. Again, soften the knees if you need to try and achieve more of a forward movement. But wherever you are with this, we just take an in-breath. Lengthen the spine, expand the ribs, and breathe out. Moving forward from the waist. Breathe in. Lengthen, breathe out. Deepen, breathe in. Lengthen, breathe out. Deepen, so breathing in. Drawing up the kneecaps slightly releases the hamstrings, drawing energy into our centre, that bit between the navel and the pubic bone. Try to hollow that out, move that back towards the coccyx as we activate that area. Breathe in, lengthen, breathe out. Deepen, breathe in, lengthen, breathe out. Deepen, breathe in, lengthen, breathe out. Deepen, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. So you can hold that position for, well, I think we did about 10 to 12 breaths there, but you can hold it for longer. The longer you hold it, I think the more beneficial it becomes. But obviously a very crucial, important posture. So one angle forward bend, or Bakasana, is the next part of the drill. So taking your feet out to a wide angle, 60 or 70 degrees. Again, we're looking to keep well up on the sit bones, get as much of the back of the leg in contact with the mat or the floor, whatever surface you're practicing on. So again, we're looking for toes pointing up, knees pointing up, spine nice and straight. Spine nice and straight. And actually this could be enough of a challenge, enough of the posture. So just sit here and breathe. So as you breathe, lengthen the spine, expand the ribs, and breathe out. Soften and deepen. But if you're comfortable with coming into a forward fold, again, we're looking to get the abdomen to move forward towards the ground. So it's not about necessarily bending the head over to get the top of the head towards the ground initially. It's much more about moving forward from here, trying to move the abdomen forward, being led by the chin and the sternum, keeps the back nice and straight. So breathe in, lengthen the spine, expand the ribs, breathe out. Soften and deepen, move forward. Ideally what we're looking to do is to bind our hands with the edge of the feet as we breathe in, lengthen, breathe out, deepen, breathe in, and breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in to length. Breathe out to deep. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in, Again, the pranic in-breath lengthens the spine, expands the ribs. Draw up the kneecap slightly, breathe out. Soften, deepen, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, so what we can also do is just stretch the hands forward, try and keep the shoulders back and away from the ears. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, so to come out of this, just slowly walk the hands backwards, back to the seated position. Nice straight back, shoulders back and away from the ears, and then just going to bring the feet together. Back to Bandhasana. Next part of the drill, Bakasana. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and we're going to move the pubic bone towards the heels. Try to get your pubic bone as close to your heels as you possibly can. Knees out towards the side. So we're looking for the knees to be in this closed off position. So that's the calves in contact with the back of the thighs. So you've got the knees closed off in that sense. It protects the knees. So it's the soles of the feet together. So what we're trying to do is to encourage the knees to move down towards the mat or the carpet, whatever surface you're practicing on. Trying to keep the back nice and straight. I'm trying to get the knees, as I say, to come down towards your mat as much as possible. So breathe in, lengthen the spine, expand the ribs, breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. And breathe in, and breathe out. So what we can do at this point as well, to try and encourage the knees to move further down towards the mat, is to try and open up the soles of the feet like a pages of a book, which we're encouraged to do in primary series. So trying to keep the edges of the feet together. Just to lift the tops of the feet off. Your mat or the carpet. So you can have the elbows on the insides of the legs, on the adductors, but we're just trying to encourage the knees to move gently and slowly towards the mat. So as you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and 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 breathe out, breathe in, breathe out,
Next in breath, look up. Slowly, carefully, allow the soles of the feet to come together. Bring the knees up. Let's move back to Dandasana. So, final posture in this drill is hero posture, Bakasana. So what we're trying to do in Malasana is to have the toes pointing back. So we're looking for some outward rotation of the calves and some inward rotation of the thigh. And what we're trying to encourage is for our bum, our buttocks to move down towards the mat. So eventually we're sitting down between our heels. See that from behind, might be a illustration. And from the front, what we're looking for is about a fist width, gap of about a fist width between the knees, with the bum on the floor. Now, if that's difficult, you can put a block between your feet and sit on the block. And what we're looking to do is to create length in the thigh muscles and the adductors, as well as encourage flexibility in the ankles by having the feet pointing backwards. But wherever you are with this, we're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. But again, this is another posture that will benefit you greatly in terms of creating strength and flexibility in the thighs. So the longer you can hold this position, the better. So I would encourage you to do it, to hold this position for a good 10 to 12 breaths initially, but then as you develop more strength and flexibility, to try and hold it for a period of time. So a minute and a half, 2 minutes, anything up to 5 minutes. It's a I found this posture very beneficial to enable me to access many different postures. So it's a posture, a drill that I'd greatly encourage you to incorporate as part of any home practice. So to move out, just bring the body weight forward slightly, and just bring ourselves into a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Like I said, these are drills that I've personally found very beneficial over the years, certainly in developing a forward bend and in developing length in my thigh muscles to enable me to access postures that I at one point would never think possible. So I hope you find them beneficial too. Thank you for watching.